I woke up to the sound of something scratching at my door. Slow, careful, like nails dragging across wood. My heart pounded in my chest. At first I thought it was the wind. Then I heard it again. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I held my breath. Outside, the night was silent. No crickets, no rustling trees, just the sound of something waiting. It started when my little brother Juma and I were playing near Mama Nsari's compound. She lived alone in a small, crooked house at the far end of the village. Nobody went near her unless they had to. The old people whispered about her, said she had powers no one should have, that if she looked at you too long, bad things would follow. I never believed them. I thought they were just stories to scare children. That day, Juma kicked our ball too hard, and it rolled straight into her yard. "I'll get it," Juma said, running before I could stop him. He was already reaching for the ball when the door creaked open. Mama Nsari stepped out. She was small, her back bent like a question mark, but there was something about her that made the air feel thick. She wore a faded cloth around her shoulders, and her eyes, too dark, too deep, settled on Juma. Juma froze. She didn't yell. She didn't chase him away. She only smiled. It was the kind of smile that made your stomach twist, like she knew something you didn't. "You take things that are not yours," she said softly. Juma grabbed the ball and ran back to me. I took his hand, and we left quickly. I told myself it was nothing, just an old woman trying to scare us. But that night, Juma got sick. The night it happened. It came fast. One moment, he was fine. The next, he was burning up, shaking, whispering strange words. Our mother prayed over him. My father ran to call the healer. But when he reached the healer's hut, the man refused to come. "I cannot help when she has touched him," he said. I didn't understand. But then the scratching started. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I squeezed my eyes shut. Maybe it was an animal. Maybe I was imagining it. Then a whisper came through the door. "Come outside." It was Mama Nsari's voice. I couldn't move. My whole body felt frozen. The door creaked open, not fast, slowly, as if something was pushing it with just one finger. The room turned cold. My breath came out in little white puffs. And then I saw her. She stood in the doorway, smiling that same terrible smile. Her eyes locked on mine. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. I felt something heavy pressing on my chest. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. The last thing I remember was Juma's voice, weak and distant. "Help me." Then everything went black. When I woke up, the sun was rising and Juma was gone. We searched everywhere. My father, the other men in the village, they combed the fields, the forests, the river. No sign of him. It was like he had disappeared into thin air. Mama Nsari never said a word. She only sat outside her house, staring at me when I walked by. Smiling. Days passed, then weeks, then years. Juma was never found. But sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, I hear it. Scratch, 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 and a whisper. "Come outside."